Honestly, whatever they do, I'm just happy I'm not going to stay up for 4 hours and they wind up not picking. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Podcast, the podcast where you don't have to be Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Trade, numbers, draft, Grossi. And today we are going to be pondering the question, should the Green Bay Packers trade up, trade back, or do nothing with their current picks? Now, the Packers are in a very interesting position in which Mark Murphy coming out and saying that, hey, we got some options. We're going to do some things in the draft because honestly, they have the flexibility to do so. The Green Bay Packers are in a great position because they have 2 first-round picks. They have 2 second-round picks. They have a total of 11 picks in this draft, and 5 of them are in the top 100. That's sitting pretty good. Now, as we talked about yesterday, there are some needs for the Packers. The most glaring one is going to be wide receiver. And so the Packers are in a position where they don't have a ton of holes, but they are able to potentially go up and get premium picks. So we're going to take a look at a couple of different scenarios here in which the Packers could absolutely move up in the first round, or if they wanted to, they could trade maybe that 28 pick to move back and get even more draft capital in what should be a deep receiver class. So let's take a look at the first scenario, and that's if the Green Bay Packers say, screw it, let's trade up. There's a couple different models here, right? There's the Jimmy Johnson model. I prefer the Rich Hill model because that's what it seems that NFL teams and organizations are utilizing nowadays. And if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, it's basically this chart. Basically what this chart does, it assigns a point value to every single pick so you can get a rough estimate on how much it would cost to either trade up or how much you would get in return to potentially move back. So the Packers here, theoretically based off of this model, and of course, you know, it's not a perfect model, the Packers could move all the way up to number 6 if they wanted to trade both their first round picks. Because looking at this point value, that'd be 253 points for their 22nd pick and 209 points for their 28th pick. So if they combine both of those, they theoretically can move up into the top 10. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, they could go get a premium wide receiver, make sure that they're getting the guy that they want. I don't imagine the Packers would give up that much draft capital. I think having that extra pick in the first round is something that they want to hold on to. But as I did say before, they also could move up to the number 10 spot. So trading the 22nd pick as well as their 53rd pick could move them up into the 10 spot. And right there, you know that you're going to go and get a premium wide receiver if that's what you desire. I don't think the Packers would move up for anything else than a wide receiver, considering that is their most glaring need. But that doesn't mean with their first pick, they're going to pick a wide receiver. So what I mean by that is the Packers usually, right? It's a little different under Goody. They let the draft board, unfold. However, we've seen them trade up for guys before. We've seen them trade up for guys like Darnell Savage, Jordan Love, etc. So they can be aggressive here. So if there is a run of wide receivers that starts to go and the Packers want to make sure they get their guy, they have the arsenal to go and move up if they so choose. Or the Packers could do what they did with Jordan Love and they can trade a first and a fourth and they can actually move up to the 20 spot. So again, it's little movement there because as you go down the chart, obviously the point values are going to be less, but the Packers, because they have 11 picks, have a lot of flexibility. Hell, if they wanted to, they could package all their 7th round picks, which they have 3 of them, and they can go get a 6th if they want to. And the Packers usually find some diamonds in the rough in the later rounds. And so the fact that the Packers have all of these picks and a lot of them are in the top 100, meaning that they want to, they can go and get whoever the hell they want in the top 10. Now, let's take a look at the other scenario, which the Green Bay Packers trade back. So if the board winds up falling for them pretty well, what they can decide to do is they can maybe trade out of the 28th spot, maybe to a team that is trying to get a quarterback. Of course, this QB class is known to be a little bit weaker, but you might see some teams try to trade up and get at the end of the first round to try and get their guy. So the Packers could pick up whoever they want to in the 22nd and get that additional draft capital by trading out of the first. So their 28th pick is worth 209 points. They could get an early 2nd and 3rd round pick for that 28th spot. So just a few picks later, if they already get their guy at 22, they could be sitting pretty. They're going to have 3 second-round picks there and 2 third-round picks. So that is absolutely a scenario and one I could definitely see the Packers rolling with. In fact, if the Packers wanted to, they could get really crazy here, and they could trade their 22nd pick as well as their 53rd pick to move into a near top 10 position, and then trade their 28th pick to get that second back. So that's what I mean. The Packers are in a really great position here because they could decide to, hey, let's go crazy and let's move up and get one of the premium guys on the board and then still get a bunch of draft capital for our remaining first round pick. Now, again, to move into the top 10 is a bold move. You've seen this happen a number of times, and usually teams have to pay a first-round pick and another first-round pick, so there's no guarantee that this would work. The point being is that the Packers could get even more draft capital in the top 100 if they wanted to, if the board doesn't fall the way they like it, and they're like, you know what, I think the guy that we're targeting is going to be there in the early second. Hell, let's get a second, let's get an additional third, and let's trade out of the 28th spot. And then, of course, the final option is for the Green Bay Packers to do absolutely nothing. I would be a little surprised if the Packers take that route because, again, they have the ammunition to be aggressive here. I would not be surprised if the Packers do wind up making some moves. But even if they decided not to, I could see them picking multiple wide receivers here, whether it's with their first round pick and their second round pick. Either way, Packers fans should be excited about this draft because we could potentially get some really good players. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think the Packers should trade up? They should trade down? Let me know what you think. You guys find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack, go.